Hello, everybody. It's me, Ross, and welcome back to another edition of Meet the Opposition. And this week, I'm joined by George Jones from the 9 Years podcast, head of the Blues trip to AFC Wimbledon at Plough Lane in League One. George, thank you very much for joining me. And the last time we met was earlier in the season, a 2-2 draw. The Blues letting a 2-goal lead slip, a 95th minute equaliser, scenes in the away end for the Dons fans. The story of the season so far then, my friend, 19th in League One, but on paper, it may not look good, but I've seen some decent results here and there. How would you talk about the season so far?
Yeah, I think, we are 19th at the moment. We have got games in hand, but I think we are at a position we're much better than where we are. And we saw that obviously at Portman Road earlier this season. The spirit we showed in that game, the ability I think we showed in that game. I think we're probably a mid-table side once we get our games in hand and have a bit of luck here and there, get a couple of refereeing decisions that have maybe not gone our way so far this year. But I think we're going to be a good side, and it should be a fantastic game against you guys later today.
Definitely, and I'm looking forward to, like many Town fans, going to Plough Lane. Let's talk about the team and talk about key players to look out for. I'll let you go through them all. One of the players that stands out is the man who scored the equaliser against Town early in the season. Take it away.
Yeah, Jack Rudoni is an absolutely outstanding player. He's been at the club since he was incredibly young, quite tall, very strong. He's improving his physicality every week at the moment. He's at that stage where he's starting to get his man strength into him, which as a winger is something that he perhaps lacked when he was coming through. But that's starting to come through. Like you mentioned, he got the equaliser at your place very early on this year, and he's gone from strength to strength. And he's now one of our key players, and especially, we haven't been clinical in front of goal recently, but that's starting to come on Saturday against Burton. That started to click, and he's a key part of that. He's looking outstanding at the moment, so I think he's got a big part to play. Terry Adelaide is a new loan signing we've had in from Fulham. He's been coming off the bench the last couple of games, but he's very, very quick. He's probably the quickest player I've seen not come through our youth system in a long time. He's very strong as well, considering his size, and he's a good option to have up front. His physicality and his speed is something that's going to cause a lot of lower league defenders huge problems, and it's the sort of thing that you need when you just need someone who can create something out of nothing through just sheer physicality. Ben Hennigan's going to have a big role. He's at centre half. He missed the last game the one before with COVID. So it's going to be a big boost to have him back, especially with the physicality that we know you guys will probably be offering up front. And, I'm sure someone will talk about later, Joe Pigott returning to Plough Lane. So I think it's going to be a big day for Ben Hennigan and Paul Ossu, who's been absolutely outstanding the last month or so. He's really forced his way back into the team. He was sort of out of the picture in the first half of this year after coming through our academy, but sort of come through and has been playing out of position. He is left-footed, but he's been playing at right back, and he's really started to make that position his own. And he's a good player. His physicality is something that, again, is starting to improve. He's a very young player. He's not the tallest, but again, he's obviously something going forward, as all modern wing backs do. So it's going to be a big day for him, especially considering the way that you guys play with the width that you offer.
Yeah, and of course, hopefully this game will be a different game to the last time we went to Plough Lane. Of course, last season, 3-0. Paul Cook was not a happy man since then. Of course, now we've got Kieran McKenna in charge. What sort of game shall we expect? Of course, Ollie Palmer could be set to join Wrexham as of this recording. We don't know yet. So he could be a big miss for you guys up front. But what sort of game can we expect? And I'm sure Town fans will be hoping a bit better, but it should be still a test against the Dons.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a test for both teams because, as we saw earlier this year, set pieces was something that you really struggled with, and it's something that is one of our strengths so far this season. But I'm expecting it to be an open game. I think you guys are going to have to come and attack because you guys are still trying to force your way up through the table. So I do think it's going to be an open game that will settle into our counter-attacking wise. I think our pressing is getting better and better. And I mean, it's a worry for you guys because it's starting to look like things are just starting to click again after a dodgy run. And it just feels that there's a game going to come in the next 2-3 weeks where we're just going to beat someone quite heavily. Hopefully for you guys, it won't be this time, but I'm sure it's coming for us.
Yeah, and I was just looking at your recent results. Of course, unfortunately, 7 games without a win in all competitions, a few draws in there. But the home form isn't too shabby. Only 2 defeats at home all season and a lot of draws. But is Plough Lane a place where, away sides fear going to, because it's a small ground, but it's backed by the fans?
Yeah, we get a really good atmosphere. You get an incredible amount of noise there. I mean, it holds 9,000. It's been full. Pretty much every single home game is going to be full against you guys, with obviously you guys selling out your tickets pretty much instantly with, 1,100, 1,200 of you guys turning up. So congratulations to those of you who probably got tickets. I imagine that wasn't the funnest experience for everyone trying to get a hold of them. But it's going to be a great atmosphere. And obviously football under the lights is always something that comes special. And last Tuesday, we were at home to Portsmouth and we held them to a 0-0. And maybe we were perhaps unlucky not to get 3 points from that game. So it is a tough place to come to. It's a unique place to come to, especially in League One. But it should be a tough test for you guys. And you guys have already been there. A lot of your team, and I know you've had a massive rebuilding job over the last 18 months or so since you last came down. But your players will have that experience of coming to Plough Lane, which not many teams have had so far. So it should be a good test and it should be a fantastic atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and definitely under the lights makes it more special coming to London, and hopefully it'll be a good game for both sets of fans. Some advice now and some pub advice. Of course, town fans will be going to Plough Lane for the first time. A ground to tick off the list is a bit of a pain to get to, it seems, from the train station. That's what I've been looking into. I don't know if there's more advice from you, but any pubs they can go to before heading to Plough Lane?
Yeah, so pretty much every pub in Wimbledon is home fan only, and Earlsfield is the closest station to the ground. It's only about a 10-15 minute walk. The Earlsfield pub, which is pretty much right next to the station, is designated away. So I'd recommend all your fans end up going to Earlsfield. You can get a direct train there from Waterloo. It's only about 10 minutes from Waterloo. Stay in the pub there and make your way to the ground up till kickoff. Sadly, the pub and fan zone at the ground are home fans only, so just make your way to the ground, but allow good time when you arrive at the ground. Some Portsmouth fans last week who arrived fairly close to kickoff had some trouble getting in, if you may have read that online, so please leave plenty of time to get into the ground, just to make sure you all guys get in comfortably.
And I've got to end the video with your prediction, my friend. What do you reckon, NR? Are you going to go for a Dons win, or do you think a point will do?
I mean, I'd settle for a point, but I just feel like something's coming. So I'm going to say 3-1 win for the Dons.
Oh, big prediction, bold prediction. We shall see. I'm sure fans will come back to this video after the game and say you're right or wrong. But we'll wait and see, George. It's been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much for joining me. Let us know in the comments, predictions, thoughts ahead of this game. I can't wait to go to Plough Lane. See you all there. And see you there, George, too.
See you there.